My pouring friends. Today I'm just doing a swipe to finish off the paints that I used in yesterday's pour, and that was the milkshake cup pour. So what I've done is found a pre-mixed kind of brown. You know what kind of color I want to call it, but let's call it tree bark brown, not that other type of brown, which it really kind of does look like. But I thought it might be a nice alternative, well, not even alternative, just for something different. I've already laid it out on the sides here, and in a moment I'm going to lay my colors in this direction and put this darker, well, it's a burnt umber, one of the global colors, across the top here, and pull it down and just see what kind of awesome effect we get. And I say awesome because, you know, for me it's always an awesome effect. I don't know about you, but I'm generally pretty chuffed most times when I do my pour. I'm just doing probably what I should have done beforehand, checking my consistency, and it seems to be quite nice. This great color here, I think I mentioned the other day, is a combination of the global green and a bright yellow to make a really super bright green, which I really like. So we'll be using that along with what's left of this nice darker turquoise. Oh, I think I saw a floating bug in it. Oh. And the lighter turquoise. I've got a little bit of the silver, which I'll layer in between just so that we can have a bit of a shimmery effect, because we all know how nice that can look. So the plan is layer, a little bit of a tilt to smooth the paint out, and then swipe in one motion using just a Laminex paper, well, it's not paper, is it? A Laminex plastic cover, bringing that down the middle towards me in one movement, and then the job's done, easy peasy, and it looks fantastic, and we all applaud the glorious cells that were made in the paint that had been sitting for maybe 2 days now. I can't quite remember. So off we go. In no particular order, let's lay out our paints. And the reason that I'm doing it in this way and coming down across all the colors is because I really like the multicolored look that the swipe can produce. I like the other look too, you know, when it's more singular. But today, this is the look that I'm going for. I think it's because I've got that nice zingy green, the yellow zingy green, which I really do like the look of, and I'm hopeful. Oh God, I've got myself, oh geez, is there any of that white left? No. Okay, well, we'll just pile them up there. And I'm just thinking, rather than tilting, I might just smooth my paint down like this. Don't want it too thick, otherwise it's going to risk drying in a yucky way. Okay. I'm having one of those moments where I'm thinking, oh, will I just end up doing this in fast motion and you won't hear me talk at all, or what? But I don't usually, because I do like having a chat, as you all know. Oh, it's gone freezing down here in Belen today. I was on the phone today with someone from Sydney, and she was saying that she was having the balmy Singaporean kind of weather, but no such luck down here. Now I'm not going to cover all of my paint down to the end of the canvas on this end, because the swiping momentum should pull up enough paint to cover this bottom end. And if it doesn't, we'll use the rest of the, what did we decide to call this colour paint that's framing it? We decided to be diplomatic and call it tree bark brown. Yes, we'll cover it with some tree bark brown. Okay, so that's pretty much coming to the end of my colours. So I'm going to start up here with the beautiful green. I really do love it. I can see why Anne-Marie's fallen in love with this, making this colour so much over and over. Isn't it great having so many YouTubers that are inspiring and do lots of variations? But as creators, you know, we all do find things that we prefer. I think I might just make that a little bit heavier here, just because I do want to use up the last part of this paint. It's such, there's hardly any left, and it's going to be such a fiddle fart to just have to transfer it. Oh, and in saying that, it's just going on forever, isn't it? It's just going to be one of those moments. Okay. Well, I feel like I'm going to get my cardigan in the da-da-da. So I think I might take it off before I... Oh, it's so cold. Bugger. Just bear with me for a second. Thanks so much. You guys are so cool. You bear with me all the time. I swear there's not a video or a creation that I make where I'm not going, just bear with me for a moment. Okay, so a couple of thin lines of the silver so that it can come through the whole way with luck. And yes, it looks white, but it dries silver. Oh, it's come to the end. All right, we'll just squeeze that last bit out there. Oh, it doesn't have a marble in it. How weird. I usually have marbles in all of mine. And I've got some copper here, so I wouldn't mind just drizzling some of that through as well. I'm a sucker for the metallics. Many of us are. I don't claim to be anything different to other people. All right, it's looking nice. Or should I say it's looking hopeful. Okay, I shouldn't really have done that down there because I'm pretty sure that's going to be covered with a lot of the other colours. So now getting ready with my umber, which is going to be my swiping colour. So I'm going to bring that quite heavily across the top, looking like an absolute delicious, rich hot chocolate in contrast to the, oh, we'll call it mocha. That's what we'll call it, in contrast to the mocha that it's next to. Okay, that paint's nice and heavy, and at the end I might just drizzle some of that down the sides just to see how we go with some effect. Feeling like I want to put a little bit more of the copper through here. Don't know why, because it's going to be all swiped up, and you know, we never know what's going to come with our swipes. All right, it's nearly finished, so let's use it all up. Okay, so as I was mentioning, my swipe's going to be in one nice towards me movement. I'll lay my gosh, gone blank again. I'll lay my laminating paper plastic down now and let that just grab nicely, making sure that both sides are potentially covered. And now I'm just going to come down ever so casually, nice and relaxed, feeling good. Woo! Let go of my laminating sheet by accident, but nothing dramatic happened as a result. As the umber is becoming thinner and thinner, we're having more contrasting colours of the swipe being revealed on the way down. And very soon my laminating sheet will fall off the canvas and I'll flip it around now and allow that nice pattern here to touch the canvas and cover that part of the canvas with the little bits of paint that are there. And it does always give such a nice effect. Okay, so I'll move this away, and hopefully not have an amazing accident where it flips up and flicks all over the place and we're all dramatic and wondering what the heck we can do to save anything. And let's just pause for a moment and watch these cells naturally emerge on their own. I really like how this end is much more vibrant and this end is going to be very heavy in the brown. It really, in the burnt umber, it really gives a really good contrast for me if we're considering the rule of thirds. And I might talk about that a little bit. Oh, I'm going to, aren't I? Clearly I'm going to, because I am. You know, the rule of thirds talk about the notion of dividing your canvas or work area actually into 3 lines horizontally and vertically. So fundamentally you end up with a grid of 9. And it talks about having 3 of those 9 grids much more busier compared to having the whole thing covered. You know what, I think it might even be worth having a bit of a discussion about that in detail with some charts and things to point to. So I might get on to trying to work out how I can do that on a little YouTube video in the future. Well, I feel like I want to run some of this paint up and down the sides, but I'm going to resist this notion because I think I'm just wanting to use the last bit of the paint. But you know, when I bring you off the tripod, you'll see that there's a beautiful line forming here between the mocha and the burnt umber browns that has some really interesting line work and cells coming up through just within those 2 colours. At this point, it's really difficult for me to see whether any of the metallics came through. Now, before I actually torch, I'm just going to do this, which is just dropping or lifting the canvas up ever so slightly and dropping it, allowing more air bubbles to hurry up and come up to the surface so that when I do finally torch, there probably won't be much or many air bubbles at all to torch away. And what I'm going to have to resist doing is torching to create cells, because the cell movement now is really pretty and interesting and I'm really enjoying it. One thing that I might do is, once I've flickered it, is maybe concentrate on one particular line for more cells, or just finish off that line there. But shall we get on with it and do it? God, you know what? I can't believe sometimes that I just say, right, we'll just do the pour and get on with it. Well, I seem to always have so much to talk about with the pour. Okay, so starting up this top end, which was very heavy, and I'm really do like that heaviness there, and being really gentle with my torch, literally just giving it a lick at this point. It's wanting to be in the paint's wanting to be really responsive to the heat and form a lot of cells, so I want to not get the whole lot done, and maybe not even do any more than that, because look, that's just really pretty and in a nice balance. And I might just work up here just the tiniest little bit of s'more, see if anything else wants to come up. No, I'm just going to pause for a minute in myself. I might just come down this line here because there seems to be some interest of colour there underneath. There we go. That's enough. And I'm going to do this line here where it's gone onto the mocha just to help that stand out a bit more, and I'll come down this side here a bit more too just to help that stand out a bit more, and that is it. Very good. I must say I'm quite proud of myself for my demonstrated torch control. Look, it's amazing. I've hardly got anything on my gloves. Well, I'm going to take you off the tripod and bring you in for a closer look at this nice, well, it's beautiful. It's like a tree that's got moss coming down it. Magical moss. That's what this will be called. Magical moss. And here we are coming in for a look at magical moss from the top all the way down, nice and slow, so you can see just how it is. And then I'm going to come right in for you to have a good look at some of the way the cells have developed. I'll see those, see how that sort of looks pinkish. That would definitely be the bronze. And the areas that look white, that would be the silver, because we know that I didn't use any white. Don't you just love how some of the cells have got cells within the cells? It's really, really, really super pretty and delicate. I wanted to also just show you the sides. See how the magical moss tree side looks? Really gorgeous. I really, 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 really love it. Really love. Okay, let's have a look on the other side of the magical moss. God, I'm going to have to definitely resin finish this one and add a little bit of glitter because it's beautiful magical piece for me. Okay, so that is today's lovely creation. What did you think? I hope you enjoyed it.